to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the war room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Eccles.
We are back once again into Saturday evening, and we are tucked away once again in the war room somewhere in the high desert of southern Idaho. And joining me tonight, we have Mr. Mark.
Hello.
We have Mr. Dean.
Yep.
We have Mr. Tarver. I never know.
Man, I got a full house today.
Yeah, full house. Every microphone is being used today. That doesn't happen very often.
Okay, let's just shout over each other for the next one.
let's do it.
It'll be like the View.
Oh, man.
So how you
Like
guys?
we're a bunch of women? Is that right?
So how have you guys been? How have you been, Mr. Mark?
Dandy, I guess. I don't know.
Second Amendment related. What have you done? Anything?
I bought a saw today.
Bought a saw.
I don't know.
What kind of
I
saw?
always wanted a saw, man.
Yeah, I
Belt
wanted a
fed
saw.
and
Can you
everything.
give me a good deal on a saw?
Double bevel, sliding 12-inch
Oh, the
compound
boring.
miter
That
saw.
means work.
Yeah, no, well, that means, yeah.
You put a metal cutting blade on there, you can take
No,
down
not
your
yet.
shotgun and
Yeah, you could, yeah. Cut it down a few inches.
Sure. Yeah. We won't.
Sure.
That's another podcast
Yeah,
where we don't
you
announce
can't
our
do that.
names.
You can't do that.
it's got to be 18 inches though, right? Every
That's
time.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't go thinking you can do that. You can't do that.
So what about you, Mr. Dean? What have you been up to?
can if
2
you Joe
weeks
Biden.
in a row.
I know,
Joe
yeah. We have to do a big shout out to my dear sweet wife who allowed me
she
to
ain't
come.
listening, yeah.
Is she on? No, honestly,
She's,
for letting me-
she's watching
yeah,
you.
she does. She'll pop in from time to time.
Oh.
So yeah, shout out to her for letting me come and play.
I'll
Sweet.
apologize in advance.
Do we need to be censored?
No,
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
I like
no.
it.
yeah, I like to said the count.
Yeah.
But I did have a good a conversation at work this week. We're
Don't know if you
Let's
want to get
see.
into it, huh?
well,
let's
they
see.
they do they have stickers up on the front door that says no weapons allowed,
Okay.
and I'm trying to get that policy changed where I work in
All right.
Fairfield and had a
Good.
conversation with our boss about what does that mean to be able to protect ourselves and
How's that going?
at work. I have no idea.
Is he looking at you?
It's a lady, so
Is she looking at you funny?
I was trying to read her, and I had a hard time reading where she was coming from. So I don't think she shoots at all. But I don't
Get
know.
her on the podcast.
It's right. It drives me nuts that I can't go in there and protect myself
right.
at work. Even bring it in and.
Well, you
I
can.
You just can't tell nobody.
Oh, exactly.
You can.
It's like church now. That's exactly how it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's just like
And
church now.
That's just the thing. No one ever knows that I'm.
If you're doing it right.
If I'm doing it right, no one sees it. No
Nice.
one's going to know. I had to explain that to her that this is the reasons, and when what's happening is they're putting in a new pharmacy at the clinic.
Target.
Exactly.
Total
right?
target.
And they asked us to begin with, do you want to? Is okay. We have the option of having scheduled medications there. That's narcotics and things you can get high with. And I from the beginning said no. I don't want them.
Right.
That makes you a target. But yeah, they're going to do it anyway because
That's where the money's at.
that's where the money exactly. So if they have patients in the community that have a whole slew of medication prescriptions that need to be filled,
Right.
and they can't fill one of them, well, they're just going to go somewhere else where they can get all of them filled.
Right.
So that's the reasoning behind it. But
You can get that through the mail now, man.
they can't. Yeah. Well,
You can get all kind of stuff from India.
it's a crap
Not
show
that I'm
getting
telling people to do that.
from your own physician, legally from your own physician, a script and getting those things. But that just, I feel like it's a target.
Well, and it is. So, I mean, we went through a few years ago. We went through a slew of pharmacy robberies
Oh,
yeah.
around here. I mean, there was like 2 or 3, in like a few month period, and they got hit. So, I mean, did you get any feedback? I mean, could you read her face? Did she look at you like, "Don't talk to me about it"?
There was a big, I couldn't read her at all. She was very neutral. It was a meeting where we had the boss on the line, but I didn't want to bring it up because
Gotcha.
the big wigs, the administrators were on the line. But after it shut off, and they said, "Dean, do you have any input?" And I'm like, well, yeah, I don't want narcotics here. And we talked about this before, but you guys are doing it anyway. So there's no reason to argue it. You guys know how I feel.
So if you're going to have narcotics here, let me pack my gun.
Exactly. That's what I told her. After the thing was done, and she kept pushing me, saying, hey, or asking, not pushing. She's like, if you have concerns, you gotta let us know. I'm like, well, I have a concern about that sticker on that front door out there. I don't like it. I don't agree with that policy.
I mean, to tell them that.
And she's going to bring it up. She wrote it down. She took notes, and she's going to bring it up, see if we could change that policy.
Because
at least for
shooter
employees.
or somebody with a
Exactly,
gun is going
yeah.
to see that sticker as a target-rich environment.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
and you probably got patients that are carrying in there anyway. Because
yeah.
in Idaho, the
Damn
signs
right.
mean nothing. I mean, unless you find them, unless they notice that they have the gun and they ask them to leave and they don't, and it's still only a trespass charge. You can carry right past those signs.
Yeah. And
legally.
This is like Podunk, Idaho, BFE, Idaho. It's
way out in the middle.
Yeah, way in the middle of nowhere. It's got 400 people.
Probably some 9-year-old
population.
kid walking around with a gun.
Oh, yeah. Everyone,
Yeah.
you walk out the back door and get your elk right there in your neighbor's yard.
Everyone's packing a yeet cannon.
Everyone's got yeet up there. Yeah.
So I'm
Everyone's
curious
got it.
about their pharmacy. How do they have it set up?
So it's going to, well,
There's
there's
like 8 inches of plexiglass.
I tell you, there are a lot of regulations that go along with setting up the pharmacy in our little clinic. They're going to have to remodel, and the area where the medicines are, you have to have a secure locking door. You have to have cameras, so you have to have video surveillance of the thing all the time. If the power ever goes out, we have to shut the pharmacy down, lock it up, and we can't use it. We can still see patients, but the pharmacy is closed for business. Yeah.
So no, other than that, there's no
You know what? They came back with me. I expressed,
old school jail bars.
No, nothing like that.
Plexiglass.
No.
So
The window that is in that area, that you can't open it, but
right.
anyway, yeah, it's just one way in, one way out. It's one door. But they told me that when they came to this decision, they went over to Pocatello and they talked to a bunch of places there that are doing the same thing, and the consensus says, well, you have a really good response time with your law enforcement, and especially in Fairfield. And I face palmed. I really put my hand on my head and went, oh shit, oh dear. They didn't hear me.
Right.
But the lady that was there, our boss, saw me and heard me, and that's the most asinine excuse for justifying that.
Well, at least you're saying something, and I commend you for that.
Yeah.
You're saying something. You're trying to get it changed. Maybe they'll change it. Maybe they won't. But you could possibly get them thinking.
Well, at least
I'm curious, what was the response time that they thought was sufficient?
they didn't say.
Okay.
They did not say. They're just like, yeah, they got a pretty good response time up there. They don't.
I mean, they don't even know.
They don't even have.
We'll have chalk around you before you get cold, man.
Right.
Don't you sweat it. Scrub.
It's pretty good.
They don't even have local town police officers. It's all county sheriff.
I was going to
out
say,
there.
yeah.
It's all sheriff.
And that's a big count. I mean, they could
It
be
is.
anywhere out there,
Yeah.
right?
There's
It
a
is.
couple guys up there that I know that that could easily. I think they're higher than a
Kite.
than a law enforcement officer. I mean, there's some guys up there that are ex-military guys that are pretty serious, like hardcore into it. So
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. People go to Fairfield to escape, to get away, to hide.
Where's this at?
It's
North-
just up past Gooding over the mountain.
Okay.
It's not Tarver. It's not far enough for you.
Okay.
About 70 miles north.
It's not far enough for you.
Oh,
Tarver.
it's
like
too
one of the
close to-
coldest places in Idaho too.
And it's right on.
I
It's
like
right
that.
on the
Right.
main. It's right on the main high. It's not far enough for you. Trust me. We've talked. I know what you're looking for. That's not it.
It's too close to Sun Valley. It's like 20 miles from Sun Valley, 25,
I
30
wouldn't.
miles.
No, I might accidentally leave my car running when I
yeah.
get out of it and
Yeah.
have a SWAT team on me. You see, they passed the ordinance there. I'm sorry, we're getting all over the place, but if you leave your vehicle running when you get out of it, that's a ticket.
Here?
In Sun Valley.
In Sun Valley, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
For the global warming and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
So in the middle of the winter, when you're trying to warm
Yeah,
your
yeah. All those
car
hippies
up,
from California moved over there, and
I'll be darned. They're so woke up there. Holy cow. Oh, man.
That's Dean's word of the day.
Save
Woke.
the planet. They're all woke.
getting their granola on and everything.
Screw them. I'm sleepy.
what's funny is they had to extend the airport there for all the private jets that show up
Yeah.
in the Sun Valley.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Yeah. So, Mr. Tarver,
Hey,
how you been?
man.
You weren't here.
Trials and tribulations.
You weren't
man.
here last
I
week?
wasn't here last week. I wasn't going to be here this week. I got work to do, but the weather kind of shut me out.
I knew you'd pull through.
I didn't. I was at work, and I'm like, Yeah, we're going to do it tomorrow.
So what have you done Second Amendment related? I know you're doing some stuff with guns.
I have ordered my guns. They're actually in. I just hadn't picked them up yet.
So what is it?
The PPQ 45 and the Canic.
And another Canic.
Yeah.
So you're up to like 9 Canics now? I mean, what do you...
Can't have too many Canics, man.
No,
you got to get, well,
you can't.
With all the chaos going on, I said a long time ago, I said, man, Turkey, we can't trust that sanctions ain't coming down on Turkey. Now, out of the blue, Turkey's been wanting to kill the Kurds for a long time. I don't mean to get in this deep this early. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some sanctions where Canics ain't allowed in the country anymore.
Yeah.
Get what you can while you can.
Yeah, I can see that coming too.
Yeah. Come over and take one of yours.
You got 2 or 3 or 4?
You gotta think about it. I think you got 4.
4 or 5. I think it's 4.
Okay. You lost track. He's got so many he lost track of the amount of Canics.
Oh, but then there's
hang on a minute. I got to take my shoe off and start counting with my toes.
Well, they got a new Canic out now. That's the.
Oh, is it better?
It's not. But it's a what do you call it? It's the more concealed models?
The subcompact.
Subcompact. Thank you. All they did is chop off a couple inches of the handle.
Yeah, where's the couches?
What's so special about this whole?
They'll happen
PPQ?
Sooner or later. Yeah, tell us about the PPQ.
I don't know a lot about it. It's supposed to have one of the greatest triggers known to man. I've never owned a PPQ.
Copied their trigger.
Copied their trigger, pretty much.
And made it better. I'll tell you what, I went and picked up a match, what is it, P5 or Q5 match, Walther. $1,500 9mm. I think that's their top gun, handgun, right? Squeezed it off, and I picked up a $300 Canic right beside it. The Canic still beats it. Not by much, but a $300 Canic beats a $1,500 Walther. But the PPQ comes in 45.
Does that trigger look like the one you squoze?
It looks like one of them.
Right. It looks just like a Glock. Your Glock.
Yeah,
trigger.
One of the early Canics. Yeah.
Or this is the Walther.
Oh, that's a.
Well, only the executive has the flat trigger.
Oh, the flat trigger is where it's at. I think that's what makes it that much better than.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you know what else has a flat trigger?
That's because it's a salient. It's that salient arms trigger on the.
A 1911.
The 1911's jam though. That's a problem.
But you can get this for 45. What is that? 13 rounds. 13 plus 1.
Yeah. 12 plus 1. It says 12 plus 1.
Oh, I should send it back. But you get it's a Striker Fire 45 with a very good trigger. So I'm told. I haven't actually put it in my hand yet. And you get 12 plus 1 of 45. Although it looks kind of ugly. It's kind of a brick on the top.
Well, I can't like every other black Striker fired.
I can't wait to shoot yours. I can't wait to shoot yours when it comes in.
Okay, it'll be here next. I'll go pick it up this week. We'll have it next week.
We'll have to have a Patriot Defense shoot day, like 5 minutes for the podcast or something. That's what our shoot days consist of. Bang. Nowadays. So,
depending on the wind.
Oh my god!
Yeah, there's that wind. Like there were stop signs on my way out here that were gone.
Well, there's out south of town on 93, about the Spud Cellars.
Yeah,
there is whole power poles that are broken half.
Oh wow!
So let's get into that. So
that's crazy.
I had a class today, and I've been watching it for 2 weeks. I always watch the weather, okay, and I didn't time this one just right, and I scheduled it. And I didn't get the indoor range reserved, and it was too late. I couldn't get it. They had something else going on there. The old men were playing snooker or something. So I was like, okay, well, we're riding the edge here. Kid, I said, dress for the weather. I'm watching it all week. 90% of rain. Put your phone down. Ooh, you got lectured.
Oh, Josh, sorry.
90% chance of rain, and we're watching it. We're watching it.
Oh man, it come out of nowhere.
We're watching it all day. And all of a sudden, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. We go to lunch. It's pretty nice. They come back from lunch, and it's just complete crap. It's blowing dirt. It starts blowing. It starts raining a little bit. It's crap, but it's not bad.
We got cows.
Yeah, we get out there.
That movie too old for it.
Another cow.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that was the same one.
We get out there. We start shooting. And the wind just cranks up. And I turned around. The clouds are all swirly. And I'm thinking, freaking tornado. I mean, It's blowing, and these guys like, okay, we can stop shooting. Let's take a break. Let's come back. Let's finish this another time. It's up to you guys. Oh, we want to stay. We want to stay. There's only 6 of them.
Oh, that's why.
And
Stuck it out. That's good.
So it was really good for today. And so we started shooting again. Next thing I know, I hear this sliding sound. I look over, someone's gun case with a gun in it with 100 rounds of 9mm, 100 rounds of 22, and it goes blowing off the table.
Oh, wow.
It blows off the table into the dirt.
Should have had a lanyard.
22 rounds. 9mm rounds go everywhere. And about the time we're looking at that, we're trying to figure out what we're going to do there, get them all picked up. I look over, and there's a 9mm sitting on the table, and I'm watching it slide off the table
By itself.
Wow. My burn pile.
What kind of 9mm?
I don't think an old like Browning High Point or something.
Okay.
And my
I was waiting for you to throw.
my burn pile out here was big branches come blowing into the range.
Yeah.
It was an absolute nightmare, but we
It was
finished.
nuts.
We finished. There wasn't a hell of a lot of instruction. It was everyone was shooting really good, so it's kind of a load, shoot, load, shoot, load, shoot. Let's get done.
Yeah, we had to. Everybody ran out back at work and like tied stuff down, and
It was
the one guy grabbed the door on the feed shed and about flung him, into another county.
It was
So
crazy.
we ended up parking a heister in front of the door so it wouldn't blow up.
Well, we got done. We came inside and we had some more discussions and stuff because it was just pretty early, so we discussed some more stuff. But I went back out there when they were leaving, and the tables had blown up, and they had broke off a bunch of my targets, and they were stuck into the dirt berm. And I'm probably pretty lucky they didn't go over.
Right.
I mean, it was absolutely
That was crazy
insane.
today.
Like you couldn't use electronic muffs, you couldn't hear anything because that wind. That wind. It was absolutely insane, and it started snowing and raining while we were out there. And so the wind was blowing so hard, the front of us wasn't wet. The back of your pants, all the way down to your shoes, all the way up to the back of your hoodies and shirt, just soaking wet, wringing water. It was absolutely. There's a gun in there I probably should clean, but I'm not going to. That one of the guys was using. I'm just gonna let it rust. It's a freaking Glock. It doesn't matter.
Oh, nobody cares about
So
it.
You say it's a freaking Glock?
it's a freaking Glock.
Oh,
It
yeah,
doesn't
nobody
matter.
cares.
I lube with bacon grease now, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, right,
It's all
yeah.
good.
Yeah. You're going organic.
Going organic.
That's really woke.
That's really woke.
Well, I don't know. You can't eat meat, man. Can't eat meat.
So it was it was an interesting class. It was a good class. I tell you what, there was this gentleman in the class. He's an older guy, and he actually, Stacy Gurrell is the guy the law enforcement officer that comes in and does part of it. He actually had done a lot of stuff for law enforcement. He actually, when Stacy was at the I want to say the academy at Post, he actually taught Stacy different things. He taught a bunch of law enforcement stuff like how to clear a building and all kinds of stuff.
Matches.
Yeah.
It'll clear.
It'll clear. A little kerosene, little match. But no, he was pretty cool. And I was a little concerned at first because he's one of those guys. He let me know what he had done in the past. And I'm thinking, it's going to be one of those guys that tries to. But you know what? He was really good about it. He interjected some stuff here and there. And he was very, very helpful. And I was so surprised. He was a little on guard sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, because usually the guy that says he's all this and that is the one that messes up.
Is the one that messes up, is the one that tries.
It's been our experience anyway.
Yeah, is the ones that try to show off. He was pretty cool. He interjected and a few things, and he reinforced what I was saying, and it was nice. He was on my side. It was actually a nice change. Real good guy, real good guy. So it was a good class. But I had another class Friday night, a private class. This guy called, and he hadn't ever shot before, really, maybe once or twice, years and years and years ago. And his dad passed away not too long ago, and he inherited 3 different firearms from his dad. And he brought his son. His son was like 11, and wanted to bring his son with him. And he wanted to know how to shoot these firearms, how to do it safely, and how it worked. He brought
safely. Never mind.
Safely. That's
I
right.
can teach you that, man.
He brought a 12 gauge Mossberg, kind of a little home defense deal. It was a pretty short barrel, something that he had purchased. like that. He brought a M1 carbine, a little 30 cal carbine, and he brought an old SIG 226, I think. And it's cool. I was telling you guys earlier, it come in the box. He had the original box, and you pulled it out, and it was like all red velvet in there. For like almost just under $500 was the price tag on that SIG. That's a pretty damn good price for a SIG.
Yeah, it's up there a lot more than that now.
Oh yeah,
You should holler at me. I'm selling them for nothing.
But I tell you what,
It's disgusting.
that M1 carbine was fun. Short little gun and just a blast to shoot. We let his son shoot that. We didn't let him shoot the 12 gauge. The kid was like a beanpole and wasn't real tall. It would have just hurt him. And I actually brought my AR-15 out, and I let him shoot the AR-15. I haven't shot that
Did it
thing
work?
in like 4 years. You did a stellar cleaning job on it a year and a half ago. It works fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
So no, they shot that, and I mean they had a blast. They had a great time. His son really liked the 380 EZ. Really liked shooting that thing. So, but it's a fun class. Those private classes they're all my classes are fun, but those private classes, that was a little different. It was a great class. It was fun, and the weather was perfect for it. But starting next month, my classes indoor range. I'm not dealing with this crap out anymore. This was insane.
Yeah.
The nader that came through. Right?
Oh my nader, dude, it was horrible. I mean, rounds are. I'm like, if we can't find out your 9mm rounds and you don't have enough, let me know. I'll spot you some. I mean, bullets went everywhere. They went flying off the table, and 20. And you see it like there's enough brass out there to choke a horse anyway. Rounds went absolutely everywhere. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Chaos.
Oh, it was complete chaos. So,
Any interesting guns today?
nah, just basic. I mean,
They're all black.
yeah,
striker
just,
fired.
Glocks and what else do we have? Yeah, mostly just Glocks. Yeah, and the 22. Oh, I did have an interesting thing happen actually. Lady had a G17, and you don't always catch them when they're loading mags. Okay, she loaded the magazine backwards. She loaded the rounds into the magazine backwards.
Wow, how?
How?
Yeah, they got in. They were in the magazine backwards, and
That's impressive.
I said, and I didn't catch it. I'll be honest with you, I didn't catch it. She, I kind of glance and make sure people know how to load, and I didn't catch this. She grabbed it. I said, "Range is hot, fire and ready." And everyone started shooting. She grabs the magazine. She, slams it into the gun. She goes to rack the slide. And it shoves. I don't know. I know how they're going to get it out. It shoves, tries to chamber a 9mm round backwards, and it shoves it in there. Primer first, and it goes in the freaking barrel. It goes in the barrel just enough. We could not get it out.
Oh no!
It is stuck in the freaking barrel.
And you don't want to try and push it out from the.
No, I didn't have it
because you don't want to hit that primer.
I know. I told the guy we were trying, and we were looking, and he's like, "We got it." I said, "Yeah," but I said, "I have a cleaning rod. Do you really want to take that cleaning rod and jam it in there?"
I'd grab it with some pliers and try and yank.
I told him to get
I
told him to get a wood dowel that's just a little bit smaller than the barrel, so it'll slide in there.
Yeah, that's it.
And they could probably tap it out, but I've seen people try to load them backwards like that before, but I've never actually.
I didn't know that was
one.
possible.
I didn't.
How do you get the round in backwards?
Well, it's a rimless cartridge.
But I think what it did.
So that rim is the same size as the body.
It's rimless, but you know how it's got that little bevel and it comes back out at the base of the case. I think that got in there just enough. It just hung up. You just
wedged yourself in there.
Yeah, it could not. I mean, I got a picture of it. It's stuck in there. I'll show you guys. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen.
Probably push that bullet further into the into the brass too when it slammed that.
Don't let him shoot that.
Pass it around.
That is.
Or hell, let him shoot it. Just see if they do that again.
It's stuck in there perfect. It's not even crooked. It's stuck in there perfect. You can't. You can grab it with your fingers a little bit. You can't even wiggle.
When we took that armorers class for Smith & Wesson, he was telling us that like Jamaican police department or whatever put their barrels in upside down.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't even know how you could do it. Like it's not even possible to do, but they did it.
Oh yeah,
wow.
Yeah, their barrels like there's little
Isn't that crazy?
little things sticking
This is
out.
so dangerous to get out because you got to put something down in there.
Wood dowel. It's going to be a wood
It's got to
dowel.
be a
It's
wood
gotta
dowel.
be a
You
wood
can't use
dowel.
anything other than something really big. Otherwise, you run the risk.
I told the guy, do
nailing that primer.
not put a rod in there and beat it out with a hammer. You're gonna have big problems. But yeah, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I'd be tempted to put an ice pick in there.
A nice ice pick. That's all it's going to take. It'll get out.
Little cleaning rod, whack.
It'll get out really quick.
Let's see what it'll do.
But I took that picture for you guys. I figured you'd want to see it, especially figured you'd want to take a look.
What are the shavings all over the round?
No, that's
not-
water. That's water.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It was raining on
Rain,
us.
yeah.
Yes, it was raining.
That's
on
what I
us.
thought too, so I took a closer look.
And the Jamaican police got their barrels upside down.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. Some Jamaican.
How do you do that? Because
I don't know.
it's locking lugs in there, right?
Well, when you put when you take your field strip, your handgun, you take the barrel out, the spring, and all that.
Yeah.
Stuff. Well, then when they put the barrel back in, they put it in upside down. They were somehow able to get the spring back in it and then put the slide on, and I don't know how that even.
What kind of pistol was
It was an M&P, like a Smith & Wesson M&P, because it was an M&P armorer's class. So.
Well, let me tell you this on this gun. I was like, oh, well, I'll just
That's
take.
freaking Jamaica, man.
I wasn't even
Yeah,
thinking.
Ma.
I wasn't even thinking on this. I'll release the slide. And I'm like, well, I tried for a couple months. I can't release the
you
slide
can't,
because it won't go anywhere.
Right.
Dude, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, what
Could you?
the-
You got the magazine out though.
Oh, the magazine came out. Yeah.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah. I mean, we tried everything we had. I mean, short of putting something down the barrel, and I wasn't about to do that in class. So we had to move on, man. Tornado was bearing down on us. We had to get rolling.
You can't even field strip it then.
No,
because it has to
no,
go into
'cause you have
battery
to-
to
yeah.
get it apart.
Yeah, you can't. You got to sit there with the slide lock back and probably jam a wood dowel in there. You got to get just the right one and tap that sucker out. I don't think it's going to take much to get it out.
You probably could get it out. I mean, because you take that back slide plate off. If you can release the tension on the firing pin, you can still get it off. You just have to take the firing pin out and everything. But
You think I'm going to do that?
no, but I think
had
I
to
know
think
another
a
way to
minute-
do it.
I had
so.
to think a minute on how to get the damn Glock apart to try to get it apart to begin
Yeah,
with.
I know of another way to do it. But
So, yeah.
Pair
I've done
channel
that.
locks all
Parts
do
would have
it.
went everywhere, dude.
true.
So, anyhow, that's my excitement. That's my excitement. So, anything else? You had some stories, man. You guys all
man,
looking
what?
at me like I'm like I'm.
Well, you've been
So
running for a while,
it's your
man.
show, man.
That
Yeah.
video I was showing Dean just a little bit ago is that what we were talking about earlier with that
Okay.
student went in with the shotgun
Yeah.
and the teacher gave him a hug basically and
Okay.
he gave up the gun.
Backstory. Explain it.
How did he get close enough to?
I don't know. That was I just watched the video. though,
That's
just
yeah,
now.
the surveillance there, right?
Well, there's
Yeah.
a couple of surveillance videos. One that showed him walking in, and one where students were running out. And then the next video that shows there's still some.
Backstory. What happened? Where was this at?
I don't know. It
We
was
don't-
3 months ago, and it's just starting to get out today.
Some guy showed up at high school with a shotgun,
right.
and he was gonna.
I wasn't gonna bring this story up because I don't have enough details.
He had
on it.
he had evil intent,
Yeah, he was.
You know, the guy looks like Ned from Spider-Man.
and the guy is some coach or a teacher ran and gave him a hug.
That's what they said. He come back to the under the surveillance camera, hugging him and handed off the shotgun. I get the guy just needed a hug, and he gave up the shotgun and they
Whoa.
hugged for a while. But it looked like to me the coach was trying. If that was a coach, kept trying to get away from him.
That's
I
it.
think the guy would let him go.
And he kept hugging. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think this
Well-
story is being reported correctly. Just yet.
I know, right? It looks like they're dancing.
Well, that's a female teacher
That's
too.
what I'm seeing too. I'm like, they're talking about this brave coach, and I'm like, you talking about the guy who ran away and
Maybe
then
they-
snuck back and grabbed the
There's
shotgun?
really no excuse, but maybe the guy had some mental break. I gonna start
Maybe just had a
kissing in a
breakdown.
minute.
I mean, he might have just needed
I don't know, but
attention.
I think the
he just needed a hug. I mean,
lady was trying to get away from him, like pushing him. And I'm like, I don't think there's something weirder here.
It says
going
high
on.
school coach in Oregon disarmed a student with a shotgun by giving him a hug.
Yeah, but I don't see that. That looks because they're saying it's a guy. I mean, maybe that's a guy. I mean, it is 2019. I don't know.
So I'll tell you
But-
what, this was posted up, I'm sure somewhere else, but Coleon Noir posted it up on his Facebook page. Messages to me, and then I'll post it up so people can watch it.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's still got to have that story fleshed out a little bit. But from early reports I was hearing, it's 3 months old. But
It's just now coming to the surface.
well, it didn't have the dramatic ending that they want, so it's not being
Right.
hyped up. But
So is this going to change how we react to shootings now? You go in unarmed and just give them a hug?
Care Bear style. Take
Serious, yeah, Care Bear style reaction to shots fired. There it is.
Just give me a hug.
Right.
Love
Who is
will-
it? Which of the
love will
Democrats
fix-
wants
love will
to
fix
disarm the
everything.
police?
Yeah.
Which of them wants to do that? One of them wants to.
which one was that?
I don't know. Say police shouldn't carry guns. Well, just give hugs. It works. We have proof.
They wanted to. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that dude. That dude
I
like
think we should take
embraced
all the guns
coach.
out of the United States, every single gun, military and everything.
That's
Get
right.
them all out.
We should just have hug wars. That's how it works.
Because
You know what?
I'm gonna hide some guns and then I'm gonna take over.
We should.
You bunch of gunless.
Our
nuts.
military shouldn't go through basic training anymore. They should just go through hug training,
There you
and then
go.
we're just going to parachute them out over there into Afghanistan and go after the Taliban again. The Taliban's coming back. Fire them off after ISIS. All they're going
That-
to do is run onto the field with their arms wide open
There you go.
and just hug
Care
ISIS.
Bear
into
hug.
submission.
Care Bear hug. So, law enforcement's going to do that. They're going to go up and hug a guy, and they're going to go, "You happy to see me, or is that a dead chicken you're hiding there?"
Well,
tell me about that.
I saw a picture of a protester one time stick a flower in a rifle, and it stopped the war. I think we've been doing this all wrong, folks. I think we've been doing this all wrong.
Hugs and flowers.
Hugs and flowers. That's what we need.
There we go.
Yeah, baby.
I feel
2020 is going to be lit.
I feel a definite change coming to the podcast.
Civis
You know what?
pacem
That's
parabellum.
it. I'm not carrying anymore. I'm just got two arms. My right to bear arms means I'm going to hug you.
And you're going to carry some flowers in your pocket.
That's right.
Spread the love, man.
Yeah. Million ways to die in the West. I'll
the
just shove it
love.
up my ass.
Make love, not war. Okay, so
You know
tell
what
us
I'm
about
saying?
the chicken bandit.
Chicken. Oh, yeah, that's.
Is this family member? Is this a family member we're talking about here?
It's not, but I know most of the people involved in it. I know the families of all the sides here, so I want to be respectful here. It's in Louisiana. A guy broke into a convenience store at 2:30 in the morning, stole some raw chicken.
He was hungry. Midnight snack.
Well, yeah, he was.
I'm going to be silly here just because he stole some freaking raw chicken, dude.
Okay, well, like I said,
He loved his chicken.
yeah, well, he diagnosed schizophrenic. He had some problems.
He got done choking his other one. Never mind.
Oh, jeez. You had to go there.
He needed some more. I'm sorry, Tarver. I ruined your story. Go
What was
on.
his last
No.
name? Bader?
No, Whitfield.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like I said,
Well, we're going to respect it. I'm sorry.
I know. That's why I wasn't going to bring this story on the podcast. I'm like,
I'm over here just staying quiet. I just want you to know that.
but yeah, law enforcement arrived after the alarm went off in the store. Fired a warning shot into the ground. Then approached the guy running away, grabbed him by his hoodie, and now they're saying it's an accidental discharge, one round to the back, guy died. So that's the story that I.
So what we read the
So
article,
far.
what it said was they were kind of struggling. He went to reholster it, and something happened. Like they were fighting. The guy's hand bumped, and it went off. That's what it said in the article.
Yeah, shot him in the back.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what the article said.
I tell you what. I don't know. I don't want to. I need to leave that alone.
Okay,
I'm
can
gonna
we
let y'all do this.
can we talk about the warning shot?
Yeah, we can.
So
So, well, I'll tell you what. I know the
You
guys
talk about what
involved
you
in
want
it,
to talk about. We don't have to talk
And
about
it, well,
We already ruined it. We kind of disgraced you with our joke.
no,
So
no,
sorry.
no. It's what we do. But and I just, you know what I'm saying? When you
Yeah.
kind of know everybody in it, you're like, I don't want to.
Well, it comes a little
If
more
I don't know you, I'm gonna roast you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
It
I know
becomes,
you, I'm
a
gonna-
little more personal.
Yeah.
let's do this. Can we not talk about the actual situation, but let's talk about just a warning shot?
Yes,
And why you say sometimes maybe there's a reason for a warning shot.
that's what the chief.
Okay, I'm not
Technically
talking
said.
about the story.
So-
I'm talking about because
So
you
down
sound
the-
okay with it.
Down there, that's protocol for them.
There's not a lot of.
But it's written on the books. That's a rule. You have that option.
Well, you read the story.
They said in the
said
story that
it-
if they want to, you can fire one warning shot. Right?
well,
Yeah.
it's loosely based on the law.
So what are your feelings on a warning shot?
Okay, here's my problem. All right, now let me
We'll
lay
won't-
this out a little bit, and then
We'll shut up.
I'll accept all the attacks. The government, if you pull your firearm, you run the risk of brandishing a weapon, a charge.
Right.
You go to jail. If you fire a warning shot, you're endangering, reckless endangerment. You're subject to go to jail. If you shoot a man only one time, you're subject to go to jail because you wasn't sufficiently scared. But if you put 30 rounds in somebody's chest, okay, that's legal, and we like that, and it's good to go. I don't know why the government trusts us to just spray somebody down with 30, 40 rounds through their chest, but don't trust that. There's a lot of times where stuff can be de-escalated by the mere sight of a weapon. There's obviously, I know everybody in the gun community is going to say, oh, that's horrible, I'll never fire a warning shot. The warning shots do work a lot of times. Classic example, if you've never had to do it, is watch a judge. The courtroom can go, wow. And when they slap that gavel, it gets some act. Have you ever been in court when it went wow? When they slap that gavel, it gets some act right. It puts, pow, pow. Lets you know. Same philosophy, same mental, what do you call it? Pavlov's dog?
Yeah.
Same kind of thing.
You get a reaction.
Same kind of conditioning.
Yeah, you
to
get
a loud, sharp sound.
Yeah, you get some act right, and
I mean, and the same can be said for the pump action shotgun.
yeah, same thing.
They've said it is one of the most intimidating sounds in the world. Just hearing that pump action doesn't have to be fired or anything. Just that, action is very intimidating. And
Right.
It'll change the situation.
But why won't the government trust us to take less lethal measures? You're going to run the risk. You're going to run the risk that you may get a brandishing charge. You may get a reckless endangerment charge. And on a case-by-case basis, you should. But I don't think it should be a blanket treatment that this is the only steps you can take. Put 30 rounds in his face, and then you're okay, and no charges. Because then you're sufficiently scared. I mean, how can they trust us to be sufficiently scared because we have a good story, but not trust us with less lethal measures?
So explain maybe I'm lost. Explain the 30 rounds versus the one shot thing.
He's talking like less lethal.
Well, a lot of times
he talked about the warning shot, then he talked about 1 round in him, and then he talked about 30 rounds in him. But that was okay. But 1 round, you lost me.
I've just heard the argument many times that shot him one time and they stopped and they're like, well, you wasn't in fear for your life. And it's like, everybody, that's the teaching today. Dump the mag.
You shoot till the threat is stopped.
Right.
If it's 2 shots, if it's 30 shots, if it's 1 shot, you shoot till the threat is done.
But nobody stops to reassess.
I know what he's saying. It's hard to convince somebody that you were in fear for your life because you shot him one time.
Right. And nobody takes the moment to reassess and see that things change. Once it comes fire time, dump the mag.
Yeah, if you shoot 14 rounds into him, they're like, oh, well, he must have been in trouble.
Gotcha.
And I don't like dumping the mag anyway, because then man, come on, man. Unless you got a belt full of mags, you don't know if he's got buddies.
I still don't like a warning shot.
I understand.
I still don't like a warning shot because
I will take the fire now.
Well, no, and it's okay. I mean, it's just I still don't like the warning shot. I mean, it's
not for every case. It's case by case basis.
So it's case by case basis. That's why I think they just say typically no warning shot because you got to the people I have in my class, under stress, people don't go out and they don't shoot enough anyway, and you're going to have someone out there defending themselves, shooting a bad guy, shooting at someone that's trying to hurt them. They're going to miss a lot anyway. Okay, so if you let them shoot a warning shot and they spray it anywhere and everywhere, you're going to have a round bouncing off concrete. You're going to have innocent people getting killed.
You run that risk.
You run that risk
of a case by case.
Otherwise, too.
But if you are, and there's a lot of law enforcement aren't sufficiently practiced with their firearms. You got to put in the hours. If you put in the time,
right.
You will get more discipline with that.
Do you know where people's warning shots usually go, though?
I don't know.
Up in the air, yeah.
In the air.
And then if
comes down, it's going to hurt someone.
If you shoot it at the ground, where's it going to ricochet to? Because usually it's going to be someplace, a parking lot.
Well, and I hate to bring Hollywood into this because I hate the way Hollywood depicts firearms.
Everyone lives by Hollywood,
right?
Though.
But
we've all been influenced.
So it's if you're trying to get someone's attention and you see this movie where all these people are arguing, somebody pulls out their gun and fires it in the air, everybody stops arguing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I always think about the ceiling, like. Poor guy's house is going to be leaking.
That's where Mel Brooks comes in. That's why he,
I just don't. I just can't get behind. I just can't get behind the warning shot.
That's fine.
I mean, my eyes is, and we don't have to agree here. My thing is if you got to pull your firearm, if you think you got to pull the trigger, you better make it count. That's the way I see it.
I
Sure,
understand.
I mean, you
If
obviously
you
want to
pulled
try
the
and
trigger and you were doing a warning shot, you weren't even scared enough to use your freaking firearm.
exactly.
you
There
definitely
go.
you definitely want to try and de-escalate the situation before you have to draw your gun.
Well,
anyway.
right.
But yeah,
But a lot of times it de-escalates as soon as the weapon is seen.
I mean, it can, yes.
All right.
And if it can,
but
reholster. And,
I could also see it like escalating, more.
Yeah.
It
If
could
it's
go the
going to
opposite
escalate, it's
way.
going to escalate real
You
quick.
draw your gun, they draw their gun, then guess what?
Yeah.
here's the
And
thing:
then
if you
Dean
do
draws his
if,
gun, it's a Mexican standoff all of a sudden,
if you do it right, you talk to your if you do it right, you're going to try to de-escalate the best you can without your firearm, and then the time you need your firearm is the time that you've passed even what a warning shot's gonna. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
I understand.
The time has passed
But
already,
we're still
yeah.
friends.
Well, I'm just saying, not every case. There are some cases.
Right.
Not every case. For the most part, I think most of the stuff's going to happen so fast, you ain't going to have time to even think about too much of nothing. You're lucky to get your firearm up and on target fast enough to start shooting.
And I think most of the time,
and that's most of it.
it's going to happen so fast that you're going to draw your firearm, you're going to get it up on target. You're not going to have even time to think about a warning shot. You're just pulling the gun and you're going to
Your adrenaline's going to be pumping. You're going to get the
start
tunnel
trying to
vision.
so everyone probably is going to shoot a warning shot anyway because you're going to pull 80% of your shots under stress anyhow. I mean, so you may have 5, 6, 7 warning shots.
Yeah.
If you look at it that way.
Well, like I said, it's not most of the cases. I think is going to be that you trying to get your firearm out and on target, and that's you praying for another second to even get on target, and then you just do what you got to do. But in some cases, I don't think it should be immediately. We don't trust you with a firearm anymore. I mean, say you got people creeping around your house or something at night. I don't know the scenario. There are some scenarios, but you can't see them. They're in shadows, and they're like, all right, you're going to maybe try and frighten somebody off? I don't know.
It's another,
put one in the ground.
It's another flaming bag on the doorstep again.
Yeah. I don't know if that's...
It's Halloween. Put the gun away, man. Just trick-or-treaters.
Don't put it out. Remember what happened last time?
All this hate we generate with this podcast, I may have some visitors come Halloween. Who knows?
Well, I'm just saying.
I'll be out here. I'll be like, trick or treat.
The Idaho Second Amendment Alliance is headed to my house. Kind of started to fire those guys up a little bit on the radio show again. Now,
What happened?
What happened?
nothing. Just we started we had some guy call in. I think he was a plant. He called in and he goes, I think you guys need to get the Pruitt, Greg Pruitt, I think his name, Greg Pruitt from the Idaho Second Amendment Alliance in on your guys' show with you to make some points and talk about what. And me and Forrest and Bill just kind of all looked at, that's probably not going to happen. He does, he doesn't like us. But I think I think he was a plant because no one's ever said that before. And I think, to be honest, this is going to bring the heat. I think, and I was thinking about this the other day. We haven't heard a whole lot. I don't mean to stray from your story.
No. I'm waiting for everybody's pushback.
They didn't. I pushed.
Okay.
We just agree with you.
Okay. So I haven't heard a lot. I haven't seen a lot on Facebook from the Idaho Second Amendment Alliance. Have you guys?
No.
There's absolutely
Don't
nothing.
get me wrong. I'm all for the Second Amendment, but
I am too. But here's the thing.
but some of those guys are just a little too extreme.
Why aren't you guys creating something right now? Why aren't you creating something? Because you know what? Next summer, next year, we'll be here soon enough. You guys need to have something in the works. Do you have something in the works? Let's talk about it.
Well, I think the reason we haven't heard anything is because the state's house isn't in session, is it?
Well, yeah, but still,
That's kind of when they came out of the
But
woodwork.
they even pushed last time. This is what we're working on. This is what we're working. I mean, they would let you know.
So yeah, if they'd work on something that's actually productive and not counterproductive,
Right.
Like, the thing of it is those guys, they get into this thing where they think that it's just all about them, and they'll go to a restaurant, they're asked to leave or something, so they'll just try and make this huge point about why they can be there and all this stuff.
Right.
You know what? Just leave.
They're causing a scene right now.
You're making it worse.
They're posting stupid memes and they're fishing for controversy.
Yeah,
and they're not getting it.
Just
so they're
leave.
making
Go
it
to some
themselves.
other restaurant that they don't care.
And
you know what I mean? It's
Are they like these guys that open carry on purpose?
They try to make.
there's a lot of that going
There
around
is.
too since Walmart and everything.
They
You know,
try to make all
it's-
these points.
It's
You think they're trying to just get a national platform for themselves, self-promotion here?
Something.
Well, they're just trying to. I don't know. They're
I
trying
don't
to
know them. I don't do Facebook.
to prove a point that's not really. They're not proving anything, but the fact that they're idiots.
But because everything that's going on, which is absolutely nothing, and you watch your Facebook page and they're just grasping at stuff to post. I mean, they're just stupid stuff. They're just taking articles and posting articles,
Right.
and
there's a right way to go about trying to prove a point, and the way they're doing it is not the right.
And
way.
I think that this guy that called in, I think he was just trying to generate some hype. I think maybe he was trying to generate some controversy because it's happened in the past, right? I spent 2 days deleting nastiness from my Facebook page and fielding calls from former students because of what they said about me.
Yeah.
I think this guy was just fishing for something, and Bill shut him down pretty quick. We're not going to go that route right now, but I just find that interesting. Let's do something. You're out there, you want to do something,
but do it the right way. Like do it where it's going to benefit everybody, not just yourselves.
And there's things you could be talking about, like being able to carry firearms in the school, in the K through 12 schools. Let's work on something like that. Let's work on something good. Let's work on the fact that we can carry with the Idaho Enhanced Permit. You can carry on state of Idaho college campuses. Let's work on being able to carry in places where it actually means something.
Yeah,
like the gymnasium, places that'll seat
Where
over
there's more than
1,000 people.
people, yeah.
I could possibly understand not being able to carry in the dormitories, parties and whatnot, but let's be able to carry everywhere else. Let's work on that, right? We've proven that it can be good up till now for past how many years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's work on at least 5. Let's work on getting some of those restrictions taken down. But you don't hear that. You see the stupid memes they post. It's just freaking ridiculous. And I'm really thinking that
a lot of the stuff
the ISSA people listen, so I'm not too worried about
a lot of the stuff they do.
Let the hate mail begin.
Like I said, I'm all for the Second Amendment, but they're almost hindering the Second Amendment and doing the things that they're doing.
Right.
I mean, not all of the stuff they do is bad, but it's the way they go about it.
It's the way they go. It's the way they go about it. It's they fire up the masses or try to or something like that. But okay, any other stories, guys? We got anything?
Had a pretty big shooting in San Antonio.
Let's talk about it.
What?
Huh?
Where did I?
Fort Worth. Fort Worth.
Fort Worth, yeah. Again?
Jeez.
Yeah, it was the one we just
Didn't they just have one recently besides this one?
No, that was some other Texas.
Some other place in
That was
Texas?
Dallas. Yeah, that was the lady who went to the wrong apartment and shot the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And the brother
this was
ended up
almost
hugging
like
her
that, though. I mean,
in the courtroom, yeah.
Yeah, that was
That's intense.
pretty wild.
Really.
You could actually understand how that would happen, but at the same time, if I'm sitting in my home and, hey, what are you doing? Pow, pow. Oh, hey.
Right. Ow, that hurts.
Yeah, stop shooting me.
That.
Now sit back, relax, and the Cajun Cowboy will set the scene.
No.
this is almost like that though. That whole story.
It's-
in a way,
it-
but having watched the video, I have theories on it.
Yeah, it's
Good theories.
You had a neighbor called a wellness check on their. Don't call a wellness check, man. I told you about my wellness check in Twin, where the guy's hiding behind
Is
the
that when
tree
your
with his hand on
family
his
couldn't get a
firearm.
hold of you?
Yeah, I'm like, bruh, what are you doing in the middle of? Get
Wellness
off behind that tree.
Is that the cop?
Yeah. One guy was sitting there. He was had a wellness check on me. One guy came to the door. Very professional, very polite and everything. We're talking. I'm like, really? A wellness check on me? Are you serious? He's like, yeah, if your family couldn't get in touch with you. I'm like, send me an email. I changed phones. And then I look around and I had this big
Tarver?
tree. And I had this guy over there ducked down behind the tree with his hand on his firearm. I'm like, hey, bro, get out of
The guy's partner?
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what's
like,
been really funny is if you just like walked up behind him, you're like, "What are you doing?
What are we looking at?
Is that guy barricaded in there?"
What the hell's going down?
He was normally I would make a joke, but he was a little too tense. I'm like, hey, man, why don't you come on out from over there? It's okay. Anyway,
Got you on my night vision.
yeah, it's Twin Falls, man. Get out of here. What are you doing?
California shit right here.
Yeah, somebody on the second floor got gunning down on you. San Antonio. What was that? Fort Worth. Why do I keep saying San Antonio?
I don't know. You got some
You
shit
like
for
the
San
Alamo?
Antonio.
You remember the Alamo?
I
and
guess
stuff.
so.
Is that where Beto's from, or is he from Austin?
I think he's from San Antonio.
Yeah.
I think so.
Austin is stay
No,
weird.
what is that?
Stay weird, Austin.
What
Good
is that
old Beto.
place that had the big shooting he's from? Not Pecos, but over in that area.
El Paso.
El Paso, there you go.
Pecos,
Okay.
so-
Beto.
Cabeza de Mierda? Is that what
Pecos,
it's called?
Who?
Cabeza de Mierda? Is that what it was
Yeah,
called?
todo me vale madre.
Yeah, see. Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny that Robert
Or
O'Rourke,
our Spanish-speaking friends.
Yeah, they'll get that one. Everybody will know that one.
a guy named Robert O'Rourke, is going around calling
that's
himself
good.
Beto.
Yeah, vote for him is called Cabeza de Mierda. Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Neither do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just making noise
So
everywhere.
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. Okay, we'll quit distracting you.
Sorry. Digressing.
Oh my
Tarver's never to
somebody
come
else
back
can
to
tell
the
the story.
podcast.
Tell the
Cajun
story,
Cowboy.
So the neighbors, they see the neighbor's door open at 2 o'clock in the morning, so they call a non-emergency number and ask for a wellness check. Deputies show up. There's body cam footage that's out now, which I don't like body cam footage. Like I said before, why can't they get a steady cam? You can get a non-shaking. Come on, man. There's stabilizers. You can
I
put
was
in those
watching.
things.
I was watching Southern Justice on YouTube, and they got glasses with cameras
Yeah.
in them, and those things would be steady, right?
Yeah, well,
You
I
think
don't know. I
so?
saw one
Maybe, yeah. Maybe a
guy
little
get
more steady.
shot up pretty good in Louisiana while he was wearing his.
Was it steady? Was the footage steady?
Pretty sure until he started getting shot. Then it got a little chaotic.
okay, we'll get interrupted.
So 2 o'clock in the morning, her doors are open.
Right. So they call a wellness check for the deputies to come make sure everything's okay. According to them, their policy is to address that as a hostile situation. That's the latest report that came out.
No knocking on the door saying, "Hey,
Yeah,
It's a wellness check. They're
wouldn't you
treating
have?
it as
Are
a
you?
hostile.
Everybody okay inside?
Wouldn't you
This
have
is
more
the
deputies if you
Fort
thought it was
Worth
a
Police
hostile?
Department.
Well,
no-
they're
no
trying to draw
announcement.
down on you from behind the tree. So
Yeah.
So, but
In
they
Twin
didn't.
Falls.
But they never announced
Come on, man. Don't
themselves.
kill me in
right?
Twin Falls.
They were just running around with flashlights. Never announced themselves. Never knocked on the door.
Never knocked on the door. Parked. Never had their emergency lights on.
Yeah.
Went through a fence, a big wooden fence into the backyard, shining lights all into the house. Somebody looked back out the window. Officer hollered, show me your hands, and fired. One shot, killed the lady. He's charged now with murder. And boy, they can't get enough buses on top of him right now.
Right.
Chief of police, the DA, everybody's, they going for everything.
So
All
we
right.
watched the video before the podcast.
yeah, I'll maybe have to
And,
post that.
And so the first thing I noticed is he's yelling at the gal through the window. And as he brings the gun up, he's pointing at the window. He didn't even finish his words and pow. So I think his finger was on the trigger and he got startled by the person. And
Lynched
yeah, he flinched. And
is a negligent
negligent
discharge.
discharge.
And it's I've taken a few classes, and I've even gone to some Masada Ayub classes, and he tells you, and he goes and he'll train like law enforcement and stuff too. Keep your finger off the freaking trigger until you're ready to fire that gun. You can have your finger close up there where it needs to be. You can drop it down to that trigger and so fast it doesn't matter. And you do that because you don't want to accidentally shoot someone. You can get startled and you can flinch and quickly.
But surely I wasn't the only one that noticed that.
I saw it.
Okay.
I mean, he was still in the middle of his words, and bam.
Yeah. You
I
can
mean,
tell he got startled.
You
in
could
the video.
still like someone moved on the other side of the window, and then he just freaking pulled that trigger.
Right.
I mean, it looked like he was surprised that he did it.
The occupants of the home were a 26-year-old girl who was playing
Video
games with her. How old was it?
8-year-old nephew.
8-year-old nephew.
Yeah.
So of course, door's going to be open. It's probably warm.
It's just starting to get cool, man.
Yeah,
It's
and they
hot
had a
as hell
screen-
in Texas.
They had a screen door.
Yeah.
The screen door's probably closed. I don't know. It wasn't the
But,
video.
I mean, the biggest mistake
But
in
for
this
shit's
is that
sake.
they didn't announce themselves. They didn't knock on the door. Their protocol, if that's their protocol, it sucks. I'm sorry, but it flat out sucks.
Right. No, I agree.
Yeah.
But once again, when you shine a light in somebody's eyes, that's all they can see. They can't tell
Yeah.
who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
They see that light.
I mean, a simple knock on the door and say, hey, Fort Worth Police or whatever, probably nothing would have happened from that whole situation.
Pull up on the street, turn your emergency lights on, call dispatch, get a 911
don't you
reverse call, find out what number's tied to that house, start calling them, see if what's going on. If not, announce yourself if you have to over the loudspeakers. Come on out there, knock on the door. Fort Worth Police, is everybody okay in there? We need to see somebody, blah, blah, blah.
Now,
Right.
didn't you say they parked around the corner too?
That's
with
one
their
of the
lights
reports
off?
I'm hearing, yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
is their story changed?
Not too much. There's been a little bit of changes. At first, he fired her. He shot her, killed her. One shot, killed her. Went. I think later that day they reported that a firearm was in the house, and the next day they were reporting that she pointed a firearm at the officer. And now the chief of police is saying no firearm was pointed at him. I don't know. it's who knows what's going on yet. But if you come to my house at 2:00 in the morning, I'm pointing a gun at you, man. Like, what do you want?
Well,
well, unannounced, yeah. I mean,
what constitutes a wellness check? I mean, had they not been able to get a hold of her for days, like your family couldn't get a hold of you, you're states and states away, and so I understand that. But what constitutes a wellness check? I mean, someone can get a hold of her for a couple hours? I mean, was there something that we don't know about? Was she mentally unstable?
The neighbor called. Yeah, and the phone call was on that video.
This happens a lot in Twin Falls City. They get wellness checks. Somebody's a relative, they haven't seen them or talked to them for a long time.
Especially for older folks.
Especially for older people. So they go in and they make sure that the person's doing okay. They didn't like not pay their life alert bill and they don't have their.
So my neighbor, if I don't see him for a few hours, I can call him a wellness check.
You can call it now.
Yeah, but I mean, it has to be substantiated. It has to be like not a couple hours. I mean, if you haven't seen them for weeks.
That's what this call was in Fort Worth, though. That they had the call on there. The guy said, "Yeah, the door's been open since 10 o'clock."
I mean, even on people that open doors and stuff, that happens a lot. It gets called out on dispatch. But most officers in this country, if they get called out on something like that, they announce themselves. They go to the front door.
That's weird. So
this guy, what was he? A year
and a half?
So was he not well enough trained?
I mean, training would have been.
That's some bad training.
Yeah, that's a horrible training. If that's her protocol, though,
we don't know that.
There's a lot.
John, I can't pronounce his name. Carrillo.
This is where we need what day in
New York cop that now has a radio show. He was saying that he found out that was their protocol. That's likely to change. We don't know. So
that's really crappy protocol. I doubt that's their protocol, but you never know. I mean,
Cardillo, that's his name. But I don't know. Either way, it was a mess. I bet you, man, he would take a negligent discharge charge right now happily.
Yeah,
because he's not only. Come on, man. They always make everything about race. He was a white cop. She was a black female. That ain't the way it went down.
I'm sure he probably didn't. I mean, he probably wasn't like looking for a black person when he was looking in the windows.
Actually, more white people get killed by police every year than black people anyway. But he is now
chain herself to the plumbing.
Tornado coming.
Tornado.
He's in a whole world of deep shit. And not only that, he's got national attention. Whew. Man.
But, this is exactly what prevents people from wanting to be police officers. This is why, I mean, there's fewer and fewer of them out there because one mishap and you're done.
Right.
Not even a mishap. You don't even have to do anything anymore and you could almost be fired from being a police officer,
What's crazy is I see some bad shoots, man.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of them.
Nothing happens. And then I see something that's not really that bad. I'm like, I can understand that. And that gets national attention and gets everybody marching and protesting. I'm like,
it's because of the color of their skin.
Yeah, but I've seen them
like that. Yeah.
I've seen them where some of the shoots are just awful, just ridiculous. And the same white cop, black suspect kind of thing. And it never gets attention. I'm like, why aren't you focusing on that? And then they get one that's, there's no rhyme or reason to it. I don't understand it. The ones that make national attention, a lot of them, maybe it's because I can say, that's not that bad, and it causes more division. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure the media, and I mean, they pick and choose what they want to put out there because they want to get the most ratings. So, controversy gives them the most ratings.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think actually that might have a little bit to it. If you can
get
one where people can say, I think that's justified. It causes more conflict between the people on the ground instead of one that everybody would say, that was a bad shoot. I think they do.
Yeah.
Maybe. No? Huh?
Well, I'm sure it goes on. You can't tell me it doesn't. At least a little bit. I mean, maybe not every single time, but I'm sure there's something out there that's been picked apart because it's going to bring them ratings.
Well,
we know what happens. We know what happens at CNN.
It happens, I know.
Yeah, that just came out with Project Veritas this week.
ABC.
Yeah.
ABC was the...
That
did
was
you see
great.
this?
That was great, yeah.
Okay.
I want to go there, man.
Yeah, I know. I want to go to Kentucky. I'm going to Kentucky now. ABC, they're talking about the Turkey-Syria conflict, right? Well, they're like, this war breaks out, this firefight and everything. The footage that they're showing is from the Kentucky gun range.
Right.
It had nothing to do with Turkey and Syria.
Right. So it was
Wow.
a story about war in Turkey
In Turkey and Syria. Yeah,
and
with the Kurds and the Turks. But no, it's a Kentucky gun range where they just go nuts and start lighting up the place at night, you know.
oh, for the love of
But
it.
they had to
tracer
crop out.
rounds and
Yeah.
they got tannerite going off. And
It was
Yeah.
awesome. I'm like, man, I want to go there.
yeah, that looks pretty cool.
But they had to purposely crop out the crowd that was at the bottom of the shot that were holding their cell phones up filming it.
They knew exactly what they were
Yeah,
doing.
no, they
Yeah.
were doing it on
Oh,
purpose.
my.
Yeah.
They had to crop it out, and then they
Talk about
supposedly
fake news. Right
had
there.
a reporter on the ground. I'm like, yeah, you can't apologize for that, man.
I mean, I don't doubt that something's going on in Syria and Turkey and whatnot, but you can't use footage that's not real footage. I mean, that's just bogus.
Yeah, well, Veritas is hammering on CNN right now,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
But it's not going to get any traction.
Well, yeah. It's too bad, but yeah,
That's
you're
shame.
right. It ain't gonna get traction. Yeah.
No, but even the Trump administration is talking about suing them now with that
Good.
footage that they got. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he does it.
Yeah. Well,
If
Trump
he
does a lot
follows
of talk. He
through.
does
Yeah.
a lot of talk. Yeah.
Yeah, he's promising to give us DACA amnesty now.
Is he really?
Yeah, he sent out a tweet saying that hopes the Supreme Court shoots it down DACA. So he promises to work with Republicans and Democrats, and we'll get it done the right way. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Come on.
He always leads with his mouth.
Well,
Always. He leads with his mouth, not his brain.
what's crazy is because we get a few angry tweets, everybody, the base, well, he's the greatest president ever. I'm like, dude, he's trying, he's pushing for gun control. He's pushing for amnesty. Come on. Anyway, I didn't want to go out there.
Oh, you're good. Anything else, guys? Or I think we emptied our coffers for tonight, didn't we?
Yeah, that was good discussion.
I don't know. I'm kind of, somebody say something. I feel like I kind of.
No, you're
Well,
good.
do you wanna
You
warn
knew the
him?
story. You're good.
He's got a little more in it.
Do we want to wax philosophical and discuss is man inherently evil or good? Because that's what this conflict between the black suspects and the white cops. The one is accusing, both of them are accusing each other of being inherently evil. That's the concept. So is man inherently evil or inherently good?
That's another
Man's
podcast.
Crickets. All right.
Man's
All right,
heart
that's
is
enough for tonight. Yeah.
desperately
No
wicked.
deep thoughts by Team.
Yeah.
No, he's
The question of the podcast. Question of the day.
all men are in a fallen state.
I've got
Yeah.
I've got an answer for
Think
it.
of it as nobody's
Okay,
perfect.
let's
so-
hear it.
I just want to hear.
What's your answer?
What do you think? Is man evil or? Is
I
is
say
good?
nobody's perfect. So I mean, everybody makes mistakes,
I
but
think,
some of the mistakes.
I think everyone's just trying to
generated.
survive.
well, we're in a
So-
fallen state. I mean, we're wicked,
Yeah.
desperately wicked.
So, but look
According to
about
the scripture.
the little ones, the babies, the toddlers. Are they
I think
inherently? I mean, don't put aside spirituality just for a second. Can a baby be not a baby, a toddler? Is there inherent evil in
Take
that?
their toy and see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens. Yeah, they're going.
They're showing traces already.
I've seen that movie, The Bad Seed.
And see, yeah, that's a good point too. I mean, there you come in with mental illness. Is that inherently evil? No. Well,
Well, I've been reading a lot of.
completely different perception is what they have. That's their problem. They perceive
Right.
reality differently. That's what your schizophrenics have a
Oh.
problem with. Yeah. And well, Hitler.
Okay.
We can make the argument. Oh yeah, that guy's evil. Well, at one point, he was
A
the
little
apple
kid.
of his mother's eye. He
Yeah.
was a little kid. He wanted to be an artist when he grew up.
He just wanted pudding for dinner. That's
Right,
all.
he drew pictures, and
Yeah.
he just wanted his sauerkraut and bratwurst. And holy cow, did he turn into something wicked?
Well,
And same thing with we talk about. Well, is the Taliban inherently evil? Is ISIS evil? I mean, these were
yeah,
little kids too. They're precious. Then they grow up, and oh man,
yeah.
Or they just doing what they know.
right? What they're taught.
Well, that's
is it?
what they're taught,
Well, here we go.
Yeah.
Is it nature or is it nurture? Which is it? I don't know. I think
they're just subject to their environment. I mean, that's
you're right.
Yeah.
It's
That's what it
both.
is.
It's nature and nurture. I think.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
both. There
I
are
think it's
so-
it's just like, I mean, technology is the downfall of society. I've heard that countless times. How many things have gone on today that have been televised and everything like that, 40, 50 years ago, you would never hear about it. It's only because it's so massively just put out there.
So we have more shootings today.
Yeah, so it's
compared to-
glamorized, and,
right?
and it's just, it's
So
so
is
much.
there more evil in the world because of that? Are people more
Well,
evil?
it's because of many things. It's the point that they're putting it out there so much more. It's the kids are desensitized.
Right.
They don't value life, and there's no parenting. There's several different factors that add up to this whole thing. And inherently, no, I don't think that man is evil. I think it's just a product of their environment.
So is man good then?
No.
That depends on if you ask someone other than man, probably not.
Right. Yeah.
So what classifies good and what classifies evil? Who's to say that one thing is evil?
Yeah. Who's the
I'll
judge?
be the judge.
Yeah, but who's to say that one person is good and one person is evil?
So where does morality come from? What is right? What is wrong?
What is
Good
normal?
Lord, I haven't been to church for a while, dude.
What
You
is
gotta-
normal too? I mean,
yeah. What's normal
You
to a
define
schizophrenic? Yeah. That's. Yeah. There's a
Wow, this is
completely
getting deep.
different
This is getting
baseline
deep, so.
compared to the rest of us. Our perception of reality and whatnot.
Well, you get into a lot of things with that. I mean, you're looking at, all right, let's dig on up in there. You're looking at, 25% nature and 75% nurture, approximately, because you're born with the IQ you're born with. You ain't getting away from that.
Right.
You're born with, you can vouch for this. Different people can act one way. A tiny, small amount of a psychotropic medication change a little bit of a chemical balance in your brain, and that is a different person, for good or bad. Wildly different. That's nature, and the rest of it, a lot of it is nurture, because you can take even messed up people with the right nurturing, and when we threw the Bible out of the school and everything, come on, man, we're going.
Yeah, what do you expect?
We're going to crap
When
from
you
that
take
point
God
It's
on.
funny
out
that
of
they
everything,
encourage
yeah.
it in prisons, but they don't encourage it
Yeah,
in schools. It's just like
yeah. Well,
shouldn't it be the other way around?
They want to take that out.
whatever.
And the further away we get from that, I mean, we're turning into crap. I mean,
Circle in the drain.
yeah. Good grief. You seen some of the people out there today? This extinction, what is it? Extinction. I can't even talk. The guys doing all the protesting in London with the dances and stopping traffic.
Because of climate change?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh.
They're insane.
Yeah.
Just run them down.
So,
They're crazy.
so man has the capacity for good. Man also has the capacity for evil. We know.
I think man is bent towards evil. Yeah. Our nature, our flesh is focused towards evil. We're focused to satisfy our own needs, wants, and desires.
There it is. Without sufficient knowledge or nurture, it runs downhill like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, we turn
It runs
into
downhill.
savages.
So we know, that's what you practical versus tactical. We know evil exists. That's why we carry. Not that. Now, here's what I've come to, because I've really struggled with this. The experiences of my life, I have a real hard, being someone who goes to church and believes in God, from my own personal experience, I'm like, man, this is a shithole. I've been stabbed in the back so many times by people you think that you trust and that show you love, but then turn right around and then in the back, turn the knife. Okay.
What can they get out of it?
What? Yeah. What
can I get out
so
of it?
frustrating. I have such a hard time trusting with trust because of this, but I've recently, read a book, and here's what it comes down to. Man is neither inherently evil nor inherently good.
Okay.
He is neutral, but he has his own capacity to choose how he acts.
He's doing what he thinks he needs to survive.
Exactly. So man is not good. Man is not evil. Man, through their nature and through nurture, he learns how to make choices, and whether those are good or bad choices is up to that individual himself. Man is an advocate unto himself to choose to do good or choose to do evil.
Right. Well, that's
True.
what we get into a funny part. Where does the state come into that has to beat people up?
And how does the state dictate morality?
Well,
What gives them the right to dictate?
a couple of hundred years ago,
right?
it was based on biblical teachings. Now,
Right.
man, I feel like being a giraffe today.
Well, I identify with being a giraffe. Therefore, I am.
And I will sue all of you people for not recognizing my giraffeness. I don't know. We're getting insane.
It's completely turned on its head.
Yeah.
Completely. Instead of yeah.
This is a whole. I kind of like it. This is a whole new podcast segment here.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It's
This has been rattling around in my head, and I finally come
That's
to terms with this after 43 years of well, yeah, really only last 25 years maybe. But when I have a kid, yeah. But
I was worried about candy and fireworks. When I was
that's
a kid.
right, yeah. So yeah, it's you can't judge.
So have you
someone-
ironed this out, or are you still pondering?
In my own head, I'm ironed now.
Okay, and where do you
I'm at peace.
base
with this,
man,
that
man at?
Man is neutral. He is
Okay.
neither good nor evil. He only has the capacity to do good things or to do bad things.
So you,
He has the capacity to choose. He's not inherently evil. He's not inherently good, because even bad people can do good things.
right?
Good people do bad things.
Yeah. Everybody's going to do bad things.
Right. That's why we carry, because some people choose to do bad,
bad
things.
things.
Don't do your
Certain
bad things around
That's
me.
right. And yeah, when seconds count, the cops are only minutes away.
Yeah.
So we must protect ourselves from those that choose to do bad things. Not that society is evil. Not that man is. Well, we can't say that. That's an unsubstantiated statement right there. But man itself, I don't think is evil. But boy, this country sure is rolling that way.
It is going in the
Yeah.
crapper. So what do you think? You say a man is a judge unto himself.
Right, his own advocate. Yeah.
So
to
what-
choose.
How do you, I mean, what kind of perimeters do you set up? You got me a little lost there. What's his, all right, what's his negative connotations without the state? Just say man is able to choose unto himself.
He's able to choose to act.
If he does something
For
wrong,
himself.
how does he,
That's right. Well,
because
here
if
we
it
go.
benefits him financially, physically, with pleasure, how does he,
How does he know right from wrong?
yeah, I mean, wouldn't he just always try and benefit himself?
Usually, yeah. But there you have nature.
Right.
Nature would always benefit the man. But then if you insert this nurture where he's taught
Right. Okay.
to be selfless,
Right,
and
where
to
he's
give,
taught as a child that you don't do this for this reason.
right,
Okay.
give service, help you out your fellow man.
And what's going to take over? What he's taught or survival?
right?
Because that's. I mean, it's you got.
Well, at some point, dire straits, you're going to be it's survival.
Right.
I mean,
Interesting
True.
topic.
Little deep there.
Little deep.
True. Well, thanks. I've been having this rattle around in my head, and I wanted to bounce this off some people.
No problem.
we're not just some people, okay?
That's right.
Some people did some things,
right,
and yeah.
We are the
I'm
Patriot
trying to
Defense
make up.
podcast.
I'm trying to make up for last week's hemorrhoid discussion.
Oh my god,
That was
Yeah,
pretty
that got a
rough,
little,
man. That was pretty tough.
that was pretty
Like,
tough.
a little
Yeah,
graphic.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Selfies. Yeah.
Okay, enough. Okay, but until then,
Let's
I
post
think,
those on the Facebook page.
Yeah. Cool. I think we are good to go, and I don't know about you guys, but I will be back next weekend. Maybe we'll see who can come next weekend. Your wife might let you come out and play 3 weekends in a row.
I don't know. I just got to butter her up. Yeah.
Let's start now.
That's right.
Okay.
PPQ.
There you go. Okay. See you guys later. Bye.